Hello, welcome to a video where I build a keyboard and you follow along. I'm in China at the moment, in my in-laws' place, and I've been searching on the expansive Taobao market. There's a lot of stuff that I found regarding keyboards. So today, we're actually building a Cinnamoroll 20th Anniversary Edition keyboard. This keyboard build, as you may know, is split out into three main parts. First is the keyboard base itself. I'm using a Geek M1 fully aluminium case. Second is the switches. I've chosen Akko Snow Blue Gray switches. They have a pastel-y, creamy color that I felt just really suited this build. Lastly is the actual keycaps, which I found on Taobao, which is so good, so beautiful. You'll see them soon. Now let us unbox. So Geek is a brand that is under Akko. Akko is the parent brand that has been around for a while now. They do everything keyboards really well for a very reasonable price point. Of course, there are a lot more premium brands out there, but Akko has been delivering consistent quality with a massive variety. We have a pink wire coiled cable that looks really, really good. USB-C to USB-A. There is a clear cover that protects the keyboard itself. And the first impression I got from using this keyboard or picking up the keyboard is actually its weight. It's so damn heavy. To me, it was a full 2 kilos. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but that's a lot of weight. Get that manual and little stabilizer sticker out of the way. And there you go. So the body is made out of full aluminum, the middle part made out of polycarbonate, and the pink stabilizers mount on top of them. So next we have the switches. They come in this really nice simple packaging, and each package has 45 of them. Because this is around 75 keys, I had to order 2 packs. Oh, look at them. So creamy and blue. Beautiful light blue. Oh, feels so good. Now we open them up to lube them. Well, in case you do not know, lubing a switch makes it sound less clicky, and eliminates unwanted spring ping sounds, as well as makes it smoother feeling, and the typing experience just a lot better. That's supposed to go into the bag, by the way. Opening them up, we have the bottom housing, top housing, stem, and the springs. And we're just gonna line them up and magic. And the same thing with the springs. Next, we have our lubricant. This is Krytox GPL 205. It is a creamy, thick lubricant that we apply to our switch. This kind of lubricant is more viscous and is recommended for linear switches, which is what this snow blue gray switches are. So we're just going to take a little bit of lube and stroke the sides of each wall, as well as brush the gold leaf a little bit and around the middle to just spread the lube evenly. So next we have the stem. Likewise, we take a little bit of lube, hold it steady, brush and spread the lube evenly around the sides of the walls. We don't really mind as long as we spread the lube evenly to touch every single piece of the stem, and we go around the middle. We also make sure we brush the little bump on the top, as that will further smoothen the linear switch process. Next, we have the springs. So we're using a different kind of lube, 105 now instead, Krytox. We're using this because it is a lot more liquefied and it will spread a lot better amongst the springs. The goal is to ensure that the springs are fully coated with this lubricant. Forgive the spoon as I usually use a dropper where I live in Australia, but I don't have that, so we're just going to use a spoon now. So after giving a decent amount into the bag, we seal that up, put the spoon down, seal that up, and put some air in and start shaking the springs for around 30 seconds. After that, we massage the springs for another 30 seconds. Once that's done, we can start to reassemble the switches by lining them up and putting the spring back onto the bottom housing, followed by the stem. Working some magic, and the switches should look like before, but trust me, they're a whole lot better. Now for the case. We start by pulling out the stabilizers by unclipping them from each side. These are mounted to the plate, so they are relatively easy to take out. We will disassemble them and loop them later. And then we take out the screws of the case and gently lift it up. It's a very, very heavy back. As you can see, there is a piece of foam that protects the PCB. And then we have the actual PCB layer. And we can see that it's screwed into the actual plate. There's a piece of foam in between, and there's also a gasket, basically that squishy little thing on the sides. And that actually creates dampening and allows the plate to bend more flexibly when typing, which creates a smoother experience. We're also going to use the famous tape mod on the back of the PCB to create a more poppy experience when typing. Now, time to drop the switches in with magic. And on to batch number 2. Now the switches are installed, time to clip back on those stabilizers. So now, everything is installed on the PCB side, flipping it back into its original orientation, back onto the top plate, putting the foam back on the back, and then putting the bottom cover back on and connecting the RGB and power socket back in. And closing it up, making sure that everything aligns correctly, and putting the screws back in their original position. We now put the fancy pink knob back on, as such. And we're ready to break out the Cinnamoroll 20th anniversary keycaps. These are ARCO's proprietary OPI style keycaps, which just means the shape and height of the keycaps differ from style to style. This is a limited edition set I chose out of 3 options. I chose this white one because it really blends well with the pink aluminum case without being overwhelming, while allowing the different colors of the keys to pop where necessary. There are a few other keys included with this set. It supports up to the full-size keyboard layout. There's also some novelty keys that I added on the right-hand side. So there are quite a few options one could mix and match on this keyboard, and future keyboards as well. I hope you had fun joining me building and modding this ARCO Cinnamoroll keyboard. I built this for my sister as a birthday surprise. I'm a million miles away, but I just wanted her to have something nice and show that I care. And make her feel indebted to me and be my slave. That aside, it was fun to combine something on the technical side with the cool creative side. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.